Hi, this is Heidi Cooper of TorahFamilyLiving.com, and I just wanted to take a few minutes today to give you a look at the new planner. It has a new style, new graphics, and I wanted to just take you through a tour of it. This is mine, so I've already started using it, but that's okay. I'll show you some of the things I do to make better use of the planner while we walk through it. Okay, so here is the cover. Hopefully our lighting is good. It's really sunny here today. I figure we'll take the opportunity. It's got nice bright flowers, cheerful colors. Along the side, I have all of the sections tabbed. We've got month, week, feast, and down here, notes. And if you add the additional sections, one of those would be school and one of those would be home. If you need a homeschool section or a section to help you with your home management specifically. Okay, so the first page, we have a place for writing your name and address. We have the priestly blessing. Then we turn, we've got the Amidah, the daily prayers. We have some goal pages in the front. How can I serve Yah better this year? Some place for some ideas. How can I serve my family better this year? And how can I better myself this year? Just some ideas to encourage you to grow and to be intentional about that. After that, we have a section these are hand-picked passages that I encourage you to go through, study, copy down, whatever works for you. And there's, I believe, about 100 of them that I've put in here for you. And again, these are ones I handpicked that I thought would be beneficial for you to work through this year. So that's right there in the front. In mine, it's missing a few pages, but I did add in here in this front section some prayer request pages as well. I usually get the prototype and then make a few changes before it goes up for sale. That's one of the things I added. So there are some prayer request pages right here in the front of the planner. Then we get to our first tab. The dividers with tabs are on cardstock, so they've got some weight to them. They each have verses on them. So you go into the monthly section. Again, I put verses wherever I could stick them. And then here is your monthly layout. Starts on Sunday, ends on Shabbat. Each Shabbat has the Torah portion passages. You've got space for your bills for the month, monthly tasks that need to get done that month. Lots of space to write in these boxes. Now, how I use the monthly pages, this is where my set in stone appointments go, such as doctor's appointments, that type of thing, things that are more out of my control. I'm trying to make sure you've got good lighting here. And then my weekly page, which we'll get to in just a second here, that's where I put my daily breakdown. Okay, so at the end of the monthly section, I have a place for future appointments for when you have things that are further out than your calendar goes. You can list those here and then transfer them into your next planner. Okay, our next tab is the weekly tab. Let me get you to, see, mine are really full here. Let me get you to an empty one so you can just see how it looks. Okay, we've got long columns. They are not dated. What I do, in fact, let me take you to my current week. What I do is at the beginning of each week, I put the dates in right here, okay? And then Shabbat has its own box down here. At the bottom of each box, I list my menu plan for dinner, okay? Down at the bottom here, we have a shopping list space. We've got a place for things that you're grateful for, and then your Shabbat plans. And right now, since we're in lockdown, there's not really anything going on outside the house, I actually have a running to-do list that I'm working through at the moment. Normally, though, what I would do is I'd list, okay, that day I'm going shopping. At the beginning of each week, what I do, let me get to a blank one again. At the beginning of each week, I sit down, I look at my monthly one, and any set-in-stone appointments, they go in first, and then I can fill in around them cleaning jobs, school things, whatever else needs to be put in. And I lay these things out at the beginning of each week. That's how I work it. I keep the set in stone stuff in my monthly, and then I use that to lay out my weekly layout. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next tab. Again, I'm hoping the lighting is good here. I'll check it. because I'm sitting outside on my porch because it's such a beautiful day today. The next tab is feasts. This is for keeping track of the biblical feast days. I have a 2-page spread for each one. Let's just take a look at one of them. Yom Teruah, for example. Up here, I have ideas for celebrating. These are actual things that you may want to include, activities, ways to celebrate. I also added this year scripture passages that specifically have to do with this feast. I know I was wanting to, let's sit down and read some scripture on this feast day. And what scriptures go with this one? So I have included several here so you can just flip open and get started. And then this page is more blank for you to lay out your specific ideas of what you plan to do. So there's a 2-page spread for each feast day, and it also has a place for Hanukkah and Purim. The next section is notes. And this is, as you can see, exactly, this is your space to just do whatever you need to do. There are lined pages. Let me back up a little bit here. I've got those for notes. I have pages called ideas. These are just wide open. If it works better for you to use a wide open space, those are there. And then I also have, I've started using these. I have plans. These are gridded pages. I actually use these for keeping track of cleaning jobs. That's what I use them for, but you can use them for whatever you need. I try to keep the planner design very open-ended so you can make it work for you. Okay, and then the next section, I don't have my tab in, but there will be a tab for each section. If you add the homeschool section, it starts with an attendance record. If you need to keep track of days of attendance, there's enough for 200 days there. And then I have planning pages. There's enough of these 2-page spreads for 8 students. You have the space for their name, their grade, the goals for the school year, character strengths and weaknesses, and then you have curriculum plan for each subject. At the beginning of the school year, you can go through and kind of plan out what you want to use to teach them each subject in the boxes here. I recommend using a box per subject because this is just a place to kind of plan out what you want to do. Over on this side, same student name, grade, mid-year notes, end-of-year notes, and then a place to keep all of their grades for the same subjects. If you match them up, see, they're right across from each other. Okay, there's enough for 8 students in these planning pages. And then I added, this is something I have used for years, so I added a whole bunch of these. This enables you to keep track of individual assignments. Quite a few curriculum programs have numbered lessons. For example, your math book, your English book, you can keep track of daily lessons and grades, or even just that they accomplished that lesson. And there's enough for 180. Now, I have a couple of kids who share the same book, but maybe on slightly different lessons. And so I just put their initials in the corner so I know that specific child finished that lesson, but the other one maybe is a week or so behind. However it works for you. There's quite a few of these that you can use when you need to keep track of daily lessons. And then I have some pages to keep track of field trips. There's room to make notes of where you went, what you learned. You can even put pictures in there if you want. There's several of these. There's several reading log pages where you can keep track of individual student reading lists, read alouds you do together as a family, whatever works for you. There's lots of these pages. And then there are several media log pages. This would be a good place to keep track of documentaries, historical movies, that type of thing. Okay, so those are there for you. This is the homeschool section that you can add to your planner for an additional $9. I have it that way, so if you don't need it, you don't have to pay for it. If you do, it's just a little bit extra to add it to your planner. Now, I will make a separate video of the budget section because I do not have one available right now in my planner, but the layout is pretty much the same as what it was in the past. It has 12 monthly worksheet sections to help you keep track of your money, as well as some cleaning sections in the back. So that is a tour of this year's planner. This will start July 2020 and go through June 2021. So it will be available May 11th, 2020. And I hope that this is helpful to you as you're deciding what you would like to include in your planner. Have a great day.